Salutations everyone, aJuntionMalfunction here, and as the title suggests, today on the 18th of May 2024 officially marks my 10th year anniversary on YouTube. I have decided to commemorate this momentous milestone for me that I would discuss my time in the Thomas the Tank Engine community for over the past decade I've been here. So, let's dive right in. While I might not be the oldest member of the Thomas community, I have been watching Thomas fan content since at least 2010. I can recall all the old remakes and remixes of the Mystic Island Rescue chase scene, watching Scarlet 123 Solar Dark Times, speculation about Day of the Diesels in 2011, the various trains videos from the time, when Fat Hat faked his death in 2012, news about the narrow gauge engines returning to CGI in the Blue Mountain Mystery Special that year, the early leaked Polish dub of the King of the Railway movie onto YouTube in early 2013, and the subsequent transition from the Miller era to the Brenner era of that same year. This was also during the time of Percy Engine 619's races and iconic Tomy videos, as well as Diesel D199's model era shorts. So, by the time I created my own personal YouTube channel in the spring of 2014, I was just in time to witness the infamous James Prop scandal late that same year, involving Sean O'Connor from Solar Island's fan site and Solar Island 3D forums. It was also the 30th anniversary of the Thomas & Friends show, as well as the redesign year for Trackmaster and the Take and Play ranges. So naturally, around this time, from so much influence from the community, this was when I started making my own Trackmaster sets much more realistic and based on sets from the actual television series show. This is one of the few existing pictures I still have from the time. It is my attempt at recreating Haltra Station as seen in Series 3. I recently acquired a Tomy Duck in 2013, a Hit Toys Donald earlier in that same year, and a Tomy Oliver just that summer. The first two are from eBay, and Oliver's from Tootly Thomas in the UK. It was my first time purposefully collecting discontinued engines from the motorized ranges, having recently become aware of the fact that some engines were harder to obtain than others. I also chose to do a set from the Little Western for it didn't require engines with unpainted footplates to be present, such as Thomas or James or any of the others. And I could also use my newest items that I had received. It was also around this time from 2013 to 2014 is when I went from being a keen observer to a keen participant of the community. But it would be a while yet before I would start uploading my own content. However, the 30th anniversary of the TV series in 2014 shifted to the 70th anniversary of the Railway series. What a time to be around, for it marked a whole lot of momentous occasions. This was the first year I began uploading content. My very first video was uploaded in August of 2015. However, for the sake of privacy, I am unable to showcase it in its full beauty, besides a single image. Not that it's very beautiful. It was barely Thomas related, and you can just barely make out the 2013 Trackmaster windmill at the lower edge of the screen. However, I soon began to upload more and more videos. With each month, I improved and I experimented. They weren't exactly great by any means, but most importantly, I was having fun. Sometimes friends from school would help me, and be in the videos too. It was mostly Minecraft and Thomas, but I also did vlogs and other random content, anything that really popped in my head, to be honest. It was during the last 5 or so months of 2015 I began to make acquaintances and friends within the community. One of my oldest and longest time friends in the community is in fact Dolan from Magic J Road Films from around that time. Back then, I went by the username Ellsridge Productions on YouTube. I changed it to aJuntionMalfunction at the start of 2017, though, so as to not be mistaken with another Ellsridge Productions on YouTube. The 70th anniversary of the Railway series in 2015 soon came to a close, but excitement still hung in the air, for there was much anticipation for the upcoming special that year, The Great Race. There was also the Thomas Creator Collective, the recent release of Soto's Legend of the Lost Treasure, and The Adventure Begins, Series 19, and the TTT community channel was still being very active. The best way I can describe 2016 is that you simply had to be there. It was also the year marked by a great deal of personal change for me. Around February of that year, I began to edit nearly all my videos that I uploaded to my channel from that point onward. And by that spring I wasn't uploading as daily as I once had been, learning that genuine quality is preferable to sheer quantity. I was also now involved in group chats and discussions on Skype, Google+, and Google Hangouts, and that somewhere on June 11th my channel reached 100 subscribers. I celebrated the event with quite a few live streams with friends and acquaintances that I had made over the past 9 or so months. My parents during this time, while confused and if not bewildered at times, were nonetheless very supportive of my decision and glad to see me running my own YouTube channel, if not a bit skeptical at times of some of the online acquaintances I had made, but they were nonetheless pleased to see how much fun I had running my YouTube channel. I'd also begun making customs around this time, some of which I still have not finished as of 2024. One day my goal is to finish the rolling stock customs I had started back then, and some of which I have, but I don't believe I will ever finish the engines. In a way, it's a time capsule back in time that I think very fondly of, and is very dear to me, since despite all the joy and happiness that year, I did mention it was a year of change, and personal tragedy struck in August for me. My maternal grandmother, whom I was extremely close and fond of, died very suddenly and unexpectedly within a matter of 72 hours. She was only in her late 60s, and overall the experience was extraordinarily tragic. Thankfully, I had my faith in God, which kept me strong, but I also had the benefit of my channel and the community of friends and acquaintances I had made. We all appreciated that #1 little blue tank engine. One of the highlights of what was a very dark week for me was when I received a private message from Enterprising Engine 93 through YouTube's old messaging system, inquiring if I would like to take part in a small voice acting role for the Thomas Creator Collective. Now, of course, Matt had no idea what I was going through, but the kindness and sincerity in his message still showed me that there was still good in the world, even if so much personal grief had happened to me. This is why I uploaded a Sudrian's Days video dedicated to Enterprising Engine 93 a month later in September. Naturally, of course, it involved Arthur. I didn't reveal this at the time, but I believe an appropriate amount of time has since passed for me to share that experience to the public. I would like to take a moment to say thank you to A Kid with Thomas in the Camera and Kipper King, who at the time I relayed on their friendship, of which I am still very good friends with to this very day in 2024. While a month had passed after my beloved grandmother's passing, I had returned to the sense of normality, keeping up with the community on my new Twitter account. Soon after, though, I was unfortunately plagued with chronic health problems, to be specific, chronic abdominal migraines. It was an underlying condition that made itself known to me after the very traumatic experience of my grandmother's passing. From that point on, I had to focus on my health in school, and I could not afford the same amount of time as I had done previously to my YouTube channel. 2016 soon transitioned to 2017, and I began to primarily be inactive on Skype, Twitter, and Discord. For to be active on there, it didn't require to make videos, and I could simply share pictures of what I was up to. However, later that summer in 2017, my parents suggested that being on Twitter wasn't so great for my health, both physical and mental, as well as being a bit young for social media in general. So during the summer of 2017, I took an extended break from the community that lasted from the end of June to the end of September. Unfortunately, I did lose some friends in the community during this difficult time period for me, who weren't at all understanding or sympathetic. But ironically enough, most of them have left the community after being engulfed in scandal or have simply faded into the background over time. My channel saw very few videos through most of 2017, all of 2018, and for a majority of 2019. However, in that span of 3 years, my health had improved dramatically, and school was no longer consuming as much time as it previously had. I was then able to return to making YouTube videos as I had done previously all those years ago. However, while I had not been uploading videos, I had been expanding my collection, working on customs, becoming a Roblox modeler, writing scripts, mapping out Sodor, and researching both British and American history of railways. All of these activities could be done from my bed, for there were many days of the year I was bedridden. However, I am very pleased to say that since December of 2019, I've uploaded over 50 videos, reached over 50,000 views, and am well on my way to reaching 750 subscribers. I suspect, with hope and time, that by the end of this year, I'll have 1,000 subscribers if all goes well. In that time, I've still suffered personal tragedy. My dog Samson of 10 years passed away in October of 2020, and my paternal grandpa passed away in July of 2023. But I've also enjoyed great milestones in my life, such as graduating from high school and beginning college. I have also witnessed my channel grow at a faster rate than initially anticipated for this year. While this is simply a hobby for me, it is rewarding nonetheless to see people enjoy what I have created. I hope to keep on creating content and recovering some older content that was lost in late 2016 and early 2017 due to a failure on the part of Google, of which I'm currently appealing to get back. I have videos planned out for the rest of 2014 to celebrate 10 years of my YouTube channel, and quite a few to celebrate 80 years of the Railway series in 2025. Even though my YouTube channel isn't as developed as much as I would like it to be, despite how long I've been involved in the Thomas community, I am grateful for where I stand now. While this video doesn't cover everything, I hope to do a Q&A in the near future, where I can go more in depth into detail. But for the moment, I seem to be back on track to great destinations, and I look forward to the arrival. Here's hopefully to another 10 years. Oh yeah, for anyone wondering if I got that role for the Thomas Critter Collective, I never did hear back from Matt, but seeing as the contract with Mattel ended in 2019, it's safe to assume that won't ever happen. But hey, if you're watching, Matt, is the offer still valid for maybe small speaking role in Enterprising Engines? It's only been 8 years, only 8, not been that long, right?